peaches in the pasture. We gotta love you with joy and laughter. We gon' talk about how you and yours can master. Put God first, make the blessing come faster. You rollin' with peaches in the pasture. We gotta love you with joy and laughter. We gon' talk about how you and yours can master. Put God first, make the blessing come faster.
Roses are red, yeah, violets are blue, boy. You know I'm in love with you. We gon' ride this thing till the wheels fall off. We gon' ride this thing just like them cars. You bring the sunshine, you make my light shine. You said you love me, and that you're all mine. Who would ever believe that God loved me so to give me a king that makes my life so amazing?
We gotta love you with joy and laughter. We gon' talk about how you and yours can master. Put God first, make the blessing come faster. You rollin' with peaches in the pasture. We gotta love you with joy and laughter. We gon' talk about how you and yours can master. Put God first, make the blessing come faster.
Yeah. Greetings, TrinityStrong Kingdom Broadcast, and welcome to another segment of
Peaches
and the Pastor. And I'm wearing my hat because it's cold. It's winter. Yeah, but it's a good time to get nice and warm and cuddly with your spouse. And this is Friday night live too, so date night, right?
Date night, every Friday night.
Every Friday is date night, and I hope you guys are planning something special with your spouse, and because this is what it's all about. There's probably a lot of babies were conceived in the winter too. Yeah, probably so, right? So I'm not suggesting anything, guys. I'm we're just making an observation. So today not too long ago, my goddaughter was married. Crystal, her new name is Crystal Hunt, and it was a beautiful ceremony, a little small ceremony at the church, and so after the ceremony, Peaches, some things struck you.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit about what struck you during the.
What really got me is, I guess, I shouldn't say the first time, but for that small of a wedding where all the concentration is just on the couple and their exchanges and all that, it was, such a concentrated service, it felt like.
Right.
And the vows, you having them repeat after me, and it was just like, I hope they're hearing what they're saying. This moment is so big, and sometimes you get all caught up in, they were smiling and laughing at one another, but all the time the words were just echoing in my head, what you were asking them to repeat. I just it just struck me, those vows.
Yeah, so we started talking about that and really started to just really home in on the importance of the marriage vows and that it's such an essential part, because you're absolutely right. You can get so spun around in the preparation of the wedding dress, the sending out the invitations, and ordering the band, ordering the food, all of the things that go into a marriage ceremony. But when you look back, what do you most remember? I think you most remember the wedding dress, the people that were in it, and all the flam and the flamboyancy and all the bells and whistles. But maybe the thing that you don't tend to remember are those vows.
Wow. And those are some powerful words you're saying.
Yeah.
For life. It's, to have and to hold, to cherish one another in sickness and in
health. Yeah.
For richer, for poorer.
Right. So we're talking about this, and you and I, we had a lot to say on the subject, And I was kind of bringing out some particular points about vows and how important they are. And they're not really just for us to recite or repeat on a wedding day during the ceremony, but something that needs to stay with us throughout the relationship, throughout the marriage, because you're going to need it. And it shouldn't be so in other words, if you don't remember the vows, then what's the point of saying them?
Wow. Well, that service really was powerful for me. It encouraged me to frame our vows and hold them up by the door. Don't forget them, because this is a promise you made unto that person, but more importantly, under God. And I just think we kind of missed that in all the hoopla. And then especially after all the years pass, 1 year, 2 years, 5, 10, 15, that vow is so back far in your head, you have, don't remember anything you said or promised. And
that's really a bad state. And so I began to just really reflect on, so what's the point if you're not going to remember them, if you're not going to use them? What is the point? Even the vows that you make yourself, you forget those as well. Because we have to understand that when you making vows, it really isn't a contract, but it's a covenant. And when you sign a contract, that's really, you're signing what you might call mutual distrust. Okay. In other words, we're going to sign this piece of paper that says that if you don't do X, Y, Z, okay, you owe me X, Y, Z. Everything is done via a anticipation that I don't trust you. So we're going to write these things out, because I know some things you're not going to do, but I'm going to need you to write on this contract that you're going to do it, because I don't trust you. So it's really, a contract is a mutual mistrust or mutual distrust. But a covenant is not a two-way street, but it's a three-way street. It's a covenant is a bond that's made between you and your spouse and God.
That's where it gets tricky. It's one thing to promise you something or promise him something or her something, but when you are promising God, that's the thing. And that's where I guess I equally yoke, because if you're not fearful of the Lord and I am, or we both not, then I guess it don't mean nothing. But if you are a believer, and you made that promise unto God, unto your spouse, wow, it's time to pull those vows back out.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you in a covenant relationship, or are you in a contract relationship? And these are the two, and there are two different mindsets. Because if you're in a contract relationship, and we also talked about relationships that are built on money and finances. Those sound like contractual relationships where you feel that this person is good for you because of what that person can bring financially into the relationship. And I know many of you all are, you all be thinking about it. When you meet somebody, the first thing you want to know, how much they making, they got a house, or they got a good job, and all of that. When you start adding up the paychecks and what we're going to buy and things we're going to do, and guys, that sounds a little bit like a contractual relationship over a covenant relationship. Because in the marriage vow, marriage covenant vows, we talk about being together for richer or for poor, all right? Which means that if some of those financial anticipated things that doesn't happen, right? You got to fall back on something, right? And so that's when you go to those vows and say, listen, for richer or for poor, because there are certain times in our relationship, it might be the richer side of your relationship,
right,
where things are going well, you're paying your bills and all that kind of stuff, and you're able to take a couple of vacations, but then you have
then life happens.
Right? And you have the poorer side that chops some of that stuff down.
You lose your job,
right.
You lose your business, or you lose whatever that was supporting you. It all goes away. What happens then? Do you just throw the marriage out the window? Because
it's halfway out the window, because now you're if it's a contractual relationship, then it's about you didn't trust that person. There's a mistrust. You said, well, you promised that you were going to do this, and the reason why we're not where we're supposed to be because you didn't keep up your end.
Oh my goodness, that is really that could be very hurtful. It's hard to come back from, especially when things happen that aren't your fault. What if you get sick?
If you get sick, right?
Oh my goodness, what a sickness.
And how many relationships and marriages have been broken up over sickness? The husband or the wife just can no longer handle the pressures of taking care of your afflicted wife or husband, and somehow or another you lost lost your desire to be in a marriage and moved on.
You just said a big word. You said desire. Desire. You lost your desire. That's why sometimes, this is so important and so good. We have to ask God. We have to give me the desire to love my husband. Give me the desire to only see him or her. Give me the desire to keep this up, because your flesh doesn't want to. We understand. He says no good thing in this flesh. We must die to the flesh every day, and that's why the vows, going back over them, praying, God, give me that desire. I want to. You want to fulfill your promise. He will put that desire back in your heart.
And that's real good. And you cannot go to God unless you have a relationship with Him. If your marriage is contractual, that's between you and your spouse. And whatever you need to work out, you work out with your spouse. But if you're in a covenant relationship, that's between you and your spouse and God. You have someone to go to in times of trouble, in times of uncertainties. You have someone. And we're fighting two different areas, and we're going to do this. Peaches, I think this is going to be a subject we're going to hang on to for the next couple of weeks, I believe, and dealing with vows, because we're going to just work with the power of the marriage vows in terms of using them to help you go stronger, or to help you get up. Okay, so and even help you in the in between, help you decide what you need to do when you're on the fence of just trying to make a decision within your relationship, that your vows can help you decide which way to go.
And help you, like you said, all that, and help you keep your marriage in perspective.
Keep it in perspective.
What's important?
Right.
What's important really? Is it the stuff, or is it the inconvenience of that? I mean, what's really, really, really important? Right. I think that's where we kind of get off, because in this society, it's all about you. It's all about things. It's all about, but really, is it more important? Are those things more important than your promise unto God and unto your husband or unto your wife? I mean, really, is that?
How do you use it, and how to focus on the vows as something that keeps your love in play, that your love for each other in place. So we have two areas. We have what you call the limbic side, LIMBIC, the limbic side of your brain, aka the lizard brain, and then you have the prefrontal cortex side of your brain, aka the visionary side of your brain. Now, the lizard side of your brain is always fighting against or fighting for him or herself. It's argumentative, it's not satisfied, it's very anti this and anti that, will do anything in its power to get an advantage, or it's just a self-serving part of us. It's self-serving. Whereas that visionary brain has the side of keeping peace and being patient and enduring to the end, and all those cool things that we say in our marriage vows. And those marriage vows come from the visionary side of our brain, because we don't want the lizard side to dominate our marriages. And this is why the vows are so important, to keep those things contained. So this is the struggle that we have. So when you have struggles in your marriage, it's coming from the lizard brain side. So you have something at your disposal that you can use to fight against that, and it's called your vows.
Yeah.
And so the first thing, is when you're met with some challenges, I just think the most obvious thing to do is go and
pull them back out.
Pull them back out. Pull out those vows.
Pull them back out.
Pull out those vows, guys.
And that's what sparked it. Just listening to them, listening to you tell them to repeat the vows to them about when we were at the wedding. That's what sparked it. Wow. That is some deep stuff. And on your wedding day, I don't even know if you hear anything. You kind of just like, oh my God, you're overwhelmed. It's a huge day. You've been anticipating this day for months, sometimes years. It's just so much. So just listening to them over again, I'm like, hey, wait a minute.
Right. Did I say that?
Wait a minute.
There's help in your vows. There truly is. And every part of the vows. This is what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks. Is just kind of pick apart. We're going to share with you our vows, but just give you just the. It becomes the antidote to the lizard brain. It comes to antidote in getting through some of those rough edges, guys. That if it's unmet properly, you're going to have some trouble. All right, but again, we want to be able to evaluate where we are in our relationship. Is it contractual, or is it a covenant marriage? Okay, between the two, and understanding that those two are very important. So during your date nights, guys, what's really cool is bring out a vow. And you don't have to talk about the whole thing, to take a line in the vow. So today we're going to just talk about the vow that I made to you, baby, that said that I'm going to protect you with all my heart, soul, and mind. I'm not going to let anything. And just use that that becomes a theme for the whole night, all right? This tonight, baby, is all about protection. And I'm going to say it to you over and over again, baby. I'm going to protect you with everything I have. I'm going to put my arms around you, let you feel the power of my protection. I'm going to tell and I'm going to let everybody know we walk in the room that this woman here is covered. Hear me? She's covered. She's covered.
That's awesome.
But you do it. Date night, guys. Peel off those vows. Put it in your date night and talk about it. Revisit it.
I love it. And that should keep your night very upbeat.
It should keep it popping. Strong.
Yeah, that's a strong date night.
Go ahead, say it. It's hot. That's hot.
That's hot. Yeah, it is.
You say, what did we talk about? Well, we pulled out our vows. And afterwards, it was hot all night long. Now, the heat should not come from anxiety, because you get anxiety, you start burning up on the inside. But I want you all to feel the heat of love that boils from the heart. Okay.
Okay. That's a good time to.
All right, guys. So we're going to shift modes to another. So one of the other things is the vows become a protective shield around many things that will come against your marriage.
Well, that's good, and I like that you went there because you just when you were talking about date night and talking about, you know, we're just gonna go through this line as far as protecting you, but I'm so happy you just said that because the whole vow is a protection.
It is.
It's like your insurance.
Right. And you have to treat it like a shield. Mm-hmm. And why do we need defenses? We need something because we're going to be confronted with things. So you need a shield, and the only reason why you have a shield is to protect you from the fiery darts of the enemy that comes in all different directions. If we didn't need that protection, why use a shield?
Why use a shield?
Why make vows if it's not a protective device?
If you didn't need it.
Right.
If you didn't need it, that's the whole point.
Yeah, you need it. Yeah.
We knew you were going to need it. He knew we were going to need it, but that we were going to do life, and life was going to come, and you would lose your income, and you would get sick, and you would this, and you would that. But we are promising to not let any of those things come against what God has put together. That's the deal.
That's it. And you know, guys, and I know some of you will feel ashamed. Okay, and I don't want you all to get overwhelmed by shame because you've done some things against the vows. Listen, don't do that. All right, we are in a covenant. Let me just put it in a covenant relationship. There are some ups and downs, but then there's protection.
Yeah.
And the thing that the enemy want to do is get you so shamed that I can't even read my vows because I'm not doing any of these things. So you feel embarrassed and you almost feel like, well, there's no way I can recite these things because I don't feel nowhere close to these things. But God will tell you, your vows can help you recover.
Yes, they can.
Okay?
Right.
It can help you recover those things that you seek to regain in your relationship to keep it moving.
And you could do your own renewal. You know what I mean? By you all bringing these vows together and saying them over again, you're doing your own renewal. God is a God of a first, second, third, fourth chance. If you two really, really, really want this to work and want to renew your vows and want to recover, and truly, and that's truly what each of you wants. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, it's done. Remember last year during our marriage entreat that we had at the hotel, that we did a mass marriage vow renewal. It was really cool.
Yeah,
and we did the certificates and those vows. They'll pull those up. That was just last year, right? But we're going to hang with this subject for the next few Fridays, and we're going to use this as an opportunity for us to break down vows and put some meaning to it. And of course, you know, anything we do here at Peaches and the Pastor, we can't do it without some spice now. Gotta be spicy now. This gotta be spicy, all right? Am I right?
That's right.
That's right. So with that being said, I think that's about it. And
that was good. That was a lot.
Cool, guys.
Please make sure you come back with us Friday. You don't want to miss this. These next couple of weeks will be very important for you and your spouse.
That's right. Guess what Peaches and I about ready to do? We're getting ready to go exercise some of those things that we said in our vows to one another. And y'all can't see it, but know it's happening. All right, guys. Thank you for joining another segment of
Peaches
and the Pastor, and we'll check you guys out next week. Peace.